The wolf gave 2 light coughs and called out the secret signal.
暴风雨之夜
The sheep replied too.
暴风雨之夜
The moment they locked eyes, both were stunned. The sheep had never expected that the other party would be a big gray wolf, nor had the wolf imagined that his date would be a little sheep. They stared at each other, and the atmosphere was extremely awkward. However, even so, they still had lunch together as agreed. For if the wolf had really wanted to eat the sheep would not have survived the previous night. It had been a stormy night. A sudden flash of lightning had frightened the little sheep so much that it had hidden in the grass and dared not move, which had caused it to get separated from its herd. Just as the heavy rain was falling, the sheep had been struck by lightning, and the pain had made it jump up and down. In a panic, it had rolled down the hillside and fled into the forest, but the lightning had seemed to lock onto it and strike at it. Even though the sheep had tried hard to dodge, the lightning had still nearly hit it. Fortunately, there had been an abandoned small wooden house ahead, and the sheep had taken shelter inside. This act of the sheep had changed its fate forever. The wolf had also taken shelter in the wooden house, but because it had been pitch black all around, he had not recognized that the other was a sheep. Both had thought the other was of their own kind, so they had started talking. The wolf had said that his home was in the valley, where many fierce beasts lived. After hearing this, the sheep had greatly admired his courage and then had told him that it lived on a mountain. At the thought of this, the wolf couldn't help salivating. They had talked a lot, from childhood anecdotes to troubles in life. Because they had shared many similarities with each other, both had regarded the other as a close friend. So they had made an appointment to go for a picnic the next day and had set a secret signal. The picnic spot had been chosen at the top of the mountain, and they had needed to take many detours. But when they had passed a corner, the wolf's lunch bag had accidentally fallen off the cliff. Seeing this, the wolf had to say awkwardly that he wasn't hungry, but his stomach had unconsciously rumbled in protest. At the sight of the sheep's plump buttocks, the wolf had started drooling again. They had finally reached the top of the mountain, and when they had seen the beautiful scenery, both had been very happy. When the sheep had opened its lunch bag and wanted to share the lunch with the wolf,
不过狼应该不吃草吧
so the sheep had started eating grass. The wolf had felt very hungry. Just as the sheep had finished eating and lain down to rest, the wolf had stared at the sheep and hatched an evil plan.
我就小咬一口是朋友就让我